Hello there, so now we're looking at your 3-step path to feeling safe. So what did you do in video 1? Well, you discovered how 2017 is the year of new beginnings and why that's relevant to self-actualized people, and you're one of those. In video 2, you discovered how feeling safe would be a big stumbling block in 2017, so how you would start to feel safe. Now in this video you'll see a 3-step path in terms of what it is, what are the 3 areas that you need to be aware of to feeling safe in a very unstable year. So 2017 will feel like a very unstable and very changeable vibration and a very changeable experience, not just for a few people but for all. Now it's difficult to plan or stabilize your life when things keep changing. 2017, things will keep changing. So how do you get to feel safe? How do you get to feel safe when everything that you're used to, what's familiar to you, what is the things that you're just getting used to, when it keeps changing, it keeps adjusting and becoming something different? Well, how do you begin to feel safe is you look at creating a stable path through the 3 main areas of your life. Okay, and those 3 main areas are really the 3 main areas of anyone's life. So you get to feel safe through stabilizing those 3 paths, especially in that very changeable energy of 2017. So what are those 3 areas that affect or impact everybody's life? Well, those are your health, your wealth, and your relationships, especially in the 2017 vibration. Now I'm going to explain what those 3 areas really mean. So what is your health? What does that really mean? Now your health is what impacts your emotional well-being. Okay, it's what impacts your emotional well-being, of course, as well as physical, but it's really your health is about what impacts your emotional well-being. So health is how you handle things in life. True health is how you handle things in life. Your anxiety levels, your confidence levels, and of course, how you handle your physical body. So in the past year, you will have felt impacted by forces you can't control. So in the last year, we've been in the 9 frequency and 9 vibration, and you will have felt, there's things in your life that you haven't been able to control. This may have made you so uncertain 1 minute. So this is the 9 vibration of the subconscious will have made you so uncertain 1 minute, or even so certain in the next minute. So feeling very certain within this, thinking, yes, I know what's happening, I know what I'm doing, I know I've got it all really coming forward in my own mind as what is clear, what is concise, because you've had this strong access to the subconscious, and then all of a sudden crushingly disappointed the next minute. You will have doubted yourself over the last year. You will have gone through the worry, thinking, am I good enough? Is it me? What is this? Because that's been the frequency, the vibration of that 9 energy. And those unexpected changes, what's happened as far as those are concerned? Some of those that have come up and forced their way into your life, what will you have done with those? Well, some of those will have knocked you off course. Or perhaps they haven't happened and you've been waiting. You've been waiting for something, but you don't know what you're waiting for. Waiting for that, well, I don't know what, but I'm waiting for something. And that's been uncomfortable. That's been really uncomfortable at your deep core because it's felt unstabilizing, it's felt destabilizing. And you're not sure what's right for you. Maybe some confusion has come up into your mind. Certainly that's been the case in that 9 frequency of the last year. You've been through that experience of confusion, not sure, uncertain in terms of what's right for you, and that uncertainty has grown. And that uncertainty has grown as we enter the year of the 110. Now, okay, we're not writing it at the moment, But what most people don't realize is that energy and that intensity builds at least 2 months before the new year begins. That's why you're looking at this right now and not when you're straight into the 2017 energy. So as we enter the 110 year, it's how your system, so how well you enter that 110 year, depends on how well your system has coped over the last 12 months. And that will be a reflection of how you manage intense change now. Okay, so if you think about right now at this moment, if you think about how you cope or you handle change in your life, perhaps you handle it very well, perhaps you don't handle it so well, but you've learnt to in recent times. Perhaps you've got much better at that and you find that a lot easier. Well, as that 2017 energy hits, that change will keep happening in such a strong manner, you may find it tricky to keep up with. In the 110, you'll see, therefore, people flop. Okay, they'll go all floppy. They're all floppy about things because they're used to being able to control things in life. And all aspects of control in that 110 energy, that fast-moving change, will be a new ways of looking at things, new beginnings. It's so fast, particularly in 2017. Yes, we've had the 110 energy before, plenty of times before, but particularly so in this year coming, it will be so fast, people will go floppy. They'll have no framework, they'll have no structure. And they'll flop because they're used to being able to control outcomes or holding on to control in order to be able to decide certain outcomes, feeling that all of that's disappeared and it's all fallen apart. So everything will feel floppy without framework. This coming year, nothing health-wise will want to be controlled. Okay, so nothing health-wise, whether that's physical or as far as your emotional health is concerned, will want to be controlled. As an example, you will see a lot of things going on in people's frameworks. So anything to do with health around their framework will start to come to the surface. Okay, so this coming year, nothing health-wise will want to be controlled. What does it mean, really? Well, people will feel everything that's familiar will start to leave a gaping hole. Okay, so everything that is familiar will leave more questions open than what they solve. Everything that is familiar or has been familiar in the past will suddenly feel unfamiliar in the 110 energy of 2017. So within that, what does that mean? What will happen? Well, lots of people will experience a fallen identity. They won't know who they are. They won't know what anything means anymore. Things will keep adjusting and changing. And where they've been able to control and structure things moving forward based on the past, you will see many an identity fallen. For you though, as an intuitive sensitive, it really doesn't have to be that way at all. It doesn't have to be that everything that you're familiar with, everything that's been your structure all goes wibble wobble and falls off. It doesn't have to be like that at all, but it will be for a lot of people. People on the road to self-actualization, i.e. you, are able to deflect and adapt. You are more able to deflect energy and adapt than you actually think you are. You may think that you actually need certain controlled outcomes, but actually your ability to deflect and adapt is much stronger than the average person. Otherwise you wouldn't be listening to me right now. Okay? So you can do that. People on that road to self-actualization are able to deflect and adapt when everything about them changes. Only as long as they've done the preparation work. So, how does your health impact your wealth? Most people think that these are separated issues. Okay, so in beginning to feel safe as far as your health is concerned, it's about adapting to that change. How does that impact as far as wealth is concerned? Well, there is a high chance in 2017 that people will become especially distracted by their emotional health. Okay, their emotional health, not physical health. They'll become very distracted by their emotional health. Therefore, their wealth suffers. So what is wealth? What is it? People think mostly it's possessions, money, all that kind of stuff. Well, what is actual wealth? Well, wealth is what you value. Okay? Wealth actually means what you value. So you value, as an example, your ability to financially take care of yourself. That's why wealth is associated with accumulation, because you do actually value your ability to financially take care of yourself. You value good relationships. You value self-esteem, and you value confidence. You value your own growth. You do. Not everybody does, but you do. So if you fall into the influence of feeling floppy, so everything goes floppy in 2017, in that energy, if you fall into that influence of feeling floppy, your wealth cannot grow. Okay, it cannot grow. So your whole way in life cannot grow, your wealth cannot grow if everything feels floppy, because it's been influenced by your health, which then of course takes us into that energy of relationships. So if everything feels floppy and it's impacted your emotional health and it's impacting your wealth, as in your ability to take care of yourself and what you value, it's therefore going to impact your relationships. Okay, all of these are parts where you're not going to, you won't feel safe, and some of these and all of these parts and what you need to do in order to start to feel safe. Okay, when the 110 energy will present itself, without doubt, where everybody, not just intuitive sensitives, will be under that influence of where things go floppy because there's so much change, because everybody's frameworks will come into question unless they've done that work in terms of their inner safety. So how does that then filter into relationships? So it is vital for an intuitive sensitive's well-being, your very core well-being, to have access to connected relationships. Without them, without connected relationships, a part of you fades. Why? Because you have a greater capacity for empathy. Therefore, you have a much greater capacity for connection. And it's part of who you are, it's part of what you need in life. Now, there is a wonderful opportunity in 2017 for connections. Huge opportunity for connections that reflect the higher aspects of who you are. Why? The reason why is because the 110 at the top and the 110 at the bottom, so these two energies, when they're engaged, meet in the soul. So therefore, there is a much higher opportunity in the 110 for connected relationships. So those who have made the effort with a soulful connection with the self, so soulful connection with themselves in terms of the physical world and their whole self, and they made that effort, will have soulful connections. So we'll have soul connections with others in 2017. But if you fall under the floppy influence, so fall under the floppy influence of the 110, guess what happens? You start to lose connections because you've lost what? You've lost connection with yourself. So how do you minimize the impact of the floppy energy, okay, in 2017, and start to feel safe in all of these areas, all of these different areas, okay, other than working on your inner world and building that as far as that's concerned, to minimize that so your framework remains strong and that you are comfortable with adapting to change. What else do you need as far as that's concerned? We need to feel safe in knowing that actually whatever happens in life around you, that you'll be fine. To know that for sure. To know that you build a strong inner framework that won't buckle under pressure. So to know that you are capable and that you do have that ability to build that strong inner framework that won't buckle under that pressure. So imagine yourself feeling strong, confident, and able to handle anything. Imagine yourself feeling that. Because floppiness, directionless, feeling lost is not saved only for the intuitive sensitive in 2017. Everybody will feel it. This is what the strength of this vibration that we're going into is. That it's not just going to impact the sensitive, it's going to impact everyone. This is why this is a really powerful year, very powerful year, and it's a very powerful one to understand. Okay, so the last time, as an example, the 110 energy hit was the year where it became very apparent that the world went into a financial crash. Okay, so that was, as you understand then, that was a huge impact on everyone. It impacted everyone. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen again this time, in this 110, but I think that this time the energy is going to be even stronger. It's going to be more powerful, okay, but more powerful on the emotions. So imagine how you can then find your way through it, where you're not impacted by that, where even though everybody around you's gone all floppy, that you're able to hold your own framework, around your health, your wealth, and your relationships, where you're able to hold strong despite all of that change, okay? Because everyone's going to feel it. So imagine yourself not taking that on and feeling safe without effort, because that's really what it's about, is feeling safe without the effort. Able to handle it without even breaking a sweat. Think back in your life to 5 years ago, okay, to where you were 5 years ago. Think back to that panic that you felt. You felt a lot more panic 5 years ago than you do today. The panic that you felt, the feeling, the powerlessness that you felt, the direction you didn't know, and the lost feeling that you had, because you had one 5 years ago. And that everyone around you at that particular time dismissed it. They dismissed it as not being of much value, or you're being overreacting to things, because it wasn't impacting their world. Well, now in 2017, they're about to feel en masse, everybody else is about to feel how you felt 5 years ago, and how you felt when no one actually took any notice. But imagine right now, as we move into 2017, people are going to start feeling that directionless en masse. We are entering a year where the energy will mean no one will know, to put it in a very basic way, their backside from their elbow. Because everything will keep changing. Every time they try to keep something the same, it'll keep changing. Okay, because that's what that new 110 frequency will bring. Why? Because when we're talking about that the big year of change in 2012, and it's a whole new world, all this kind of stuff, it takes a few years for that energy to build. Well, guess what? 2017 is when that really starts to take place. Okay, when it starts to take action of that new world. And in order for that new energy, that new pace to come in, quite often it feels like a whirlwind of disruption before things settle. And that's what we're about to enter. So there will be no one with answers. Okay, we're about to enter a time when there is no authority, no one with answers, only questions. So all those who are perceived previously to know all the answers, or to have an opinion or a framework, will have no framework. They'll have no answers. They'll only have questions. So imagine yourself as one of the few who can quietly prosper in this energy. You don't have to be loud about it. You don't have to, charge of the light brigade, you don't have to be this strong, powerful light worker going, okay, we got to lead strongly through this darkness. You don't have to be one of those. But imagine yourself as one of the few who can quietly prosper in this energy. Okay, because there's always a side to whatever frequency where you can prosper. One of the few who can use the new beginnings, which 2017 offers, which is it's the flip side of what it offers. It offers a huge opportunity around new beginnings. So how do you do that? How do you embrace that? How do you engage with that? How do you make that happen for yourself? Will you address what could fracture your inner framework? Or if you think, well, actually I haven't got enough of an inner framework to even fracture, you address what you need to build before the energy strikes. Okay, so you address what could fracture your inner framework, or you do indeed build a framework before the energy strikes. So how can I help you with that? What can I do to help you with that? Well, you could, of course, chance it. You could do that. You could go it alone. Or you could think, what you said is a whole load of mumbo jumbo. You could say that. Or you could do what thousands of intuitive sensitives worldwide do each year, is take my assistance. 2017 and you, this is the 7th year that I've provided this particular support specifically for intuitive sensitive people. What will it be? It will be a 3-part short course using the Discover, Resolve and Peace method to help you make 2017 your best year yet. This method is different because it works with the right brain preference of the intuitive sensitive person. As an intuitive sensitive person, you have a right brain preference, which means that you take in the whole of something. You don't like it dissected into small components. You don't work in a linear fashion of making this and doing that. It doesn't work for you. All you get to feel is in making those lists and those New Year's resolutions is a big bundle of disappointment, because your framework doesn't work that way. It works to a right brain preference, and the Discover, Resolve and Peace method is to that preference. So join me for video 4, where you'll discover how you can harness the Discover, Resolve and Peace method to embrace 2017. And in video 4, you'll also see an introduction to the 2017 and You short course. So look out for the announcement coming soon, which will be an email from me with the subject line prefix of 2017 and You. So look out for that email when it comes through. If you can't wait, you think, oh, you've just really annoyed me and frustrated me. If you can't wait and you want an overview of the Discover, Resolve and Peace method, especially in how you apply it to 2017, and you want to read the hidden course preview page, then put your name on the early bird list to be notified first, okay, as to when that immediately becomes available. When that is, my 3-week online 2017 and You course becomes available, and it will do for a limited time, okay? So if you want to be someone, you can't wait for video 4 and you want to be able to have access to that and to preview and have a look to see what that's all about, then put your name on the list below. Okay? Your time as a powerful intuitive sensitive, quietly powerful. You don't have to be loud and proud as far as that's concerned, because often it's not our way. Now, as we come into this frequency and the fast-paced vibration, it's your opportunity. So it's your opportunity to actually be ready. I'll see you video 4. Bye for now.